and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That is a bunch of good-looking men on the left side. Just saying.
Oh, come
I don't
on.
think you can say
You're
that.
gonna do that?
Well, that's true, but look at that. Woo!
Daddy, come on now.
Just saying, I can't help it. They're all cute.
All right, April, will you please show that we are all present?
Yes.
Let's move on to the approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll support.
We have a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going to move on to the approval of the agenda. I have no changes or additions.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We're going to move on to announcements and communications. And I have a really nice announcement to start with. So today we were successful in hiring our new building official. And he is going to start in 2 weeks. And he looks like a real amazing candidate. He's an enjoyable guy. I think he's going to do a wonderful job. He's coming from the city of Adrian as their building official. So we're really, really excited, and his name is Tony Nicholas. So he's going to be probably at the next meeting.
Sounds good.
Oh my God, he's so
Okay.
nice.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? All right. Seeing none, we're going to move to call to the public. We can come up and talk about non-agenda related items if you have any to talk about. Let's keep it 3 minutes and give your name and address for the record. Okay, I'll knock the herd down here and we'll close that up. Moving on to reports. First report is DDA. Amy,
Good evening, everyone.
hello. How are you doing?
Doing good. Some updates for you. You may have noticed if you've driven around the ring roads lately that you see some conduit areas where there's conduit sticking up. We're working with DTE for their community lighting program, and they are moving along in that process, so that is progress that's being done for it. They're looking towards the end of next week to start installing the foundations for the new poles. So I'm not sure exactly how long that process will take. I believe there's in total around 54 new ones that'll be installed. And then they'll start working on the removal of the old lights. So I will keep you updated to that process, but we are putting it out on social media so everybody knows what's going on in the next couple of days. I just got my update from them this morning, so just wanted to keep you all aware of that. Also, an update on our New Hudson Road abandonment process. I got an update from the county that they have received all the information that they require, so we should be getting a date that we're moving forward for their board for hopefully approval of that process in the next couple of months, so I will keep you updated. And we have started investigating and preparing for the next level of the vacating process, which will be at the local level here. So we're doing some research on that and getting everything prepped and ready to go. So as soon as we have the okay from the county, we can move ahead with that process. And tomorrow, our organizational committee will be meeting, and we're going to be working on a fundraising strategy. I want to make you aware that we received a grant from Oakland County Main Street for $2,500, so we'll be working with McKenna on putting together that document. That'll help us go to market for some businesses, for local sponsorships, for our special events, and for some of our design and appearance projects that we'll be doing this year. And at our last board meeting in March, our board officially adopted our updated strategic and action plans. If you'd like to see copies of those, please let me know and I can email you that document. A special thank you to everyone who participated in our workshops, who helped us prepare that. That also was in part funded by a grant through Oakland County Main Street that we were able to receive. So that covered about 75% of the cost of that creation of that document. We also hosted our local business collaborative breakfast back on April 1st. It was a really big success. We had attendance from Representative Boland. We had some members of the Planning Commission attend. In total, we had just over 30 attendees, so we hit our limit for what we were able to hold at the location. Special thank you to our sponsor, Zeal Credit Union, and BEMA's, who hosted the event and actually provided us with some traditional Indian breakfast foods for all of us to try. The program was really well received. We had a lot of questions from those that attended, and we were even asked by the library to host another event at their library so that we could pass along that information to the greater community. So we're going to be hosting that on June 4th at 6 p.m. And we would love to have one or two township officials, if they would like to come in, but members of the board, to give their take on what's going on in our community too, and potentially answer some questions from the public. So if you're interested in attending that, please let me know. And we also, earlier today, our Design and Appearance and our Economic Vitality Committee all met. We had about 12 members in total that toured our downtown area to look for locations to possibly install benches, bike racks, to look where we're hoping to do some sidewalk connections. So it was a really good turnout. And that leads me into an update on our next, is that we would like to schedule that strategic workshop at some point with the board and the planning commission. We have about 4 to 5 projects that the committees would like to present to the group to find out if they're in line with what the Township and Planning Commission would like to see, or if they want to see us go in another direction so that we can move those forward for the end of this year and early next year. So we're hoping we can get something on the books for that. And that's all I had.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Any questions for Amy?
How much time do you want to prepare for such a joint session? Like,
We would ideally like to see it happen in June so that we can have a couple of weeks to prepare for it, but ideally we would just be looking for about an hour or two max of the time to present those ideas and get feedback.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, seeing as though we probably don't have a fire report tonight, we're going to move to Sheriff. Chief Claude. How you doing, Chief?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
I have for you a couple things here. I just encourage you guys to check out our website, with it being Severe Weather Awareness Month. Our department, and actually Mary, did a lot on our website updating. We have actually now an emergency preparedness tab within our fire department part of the webpage. And it's actually got a lot of good information in regards to preparing for safety, or for severe weather and other types of emergencies that could occur. Not only does it have some information scanned in there, but it's got links to like Oakland County Homeland Security and some information they have on there in regard, and in stuff that FEMA has out there. Our department received an Oakland County Homeland Security grant that would allow me to attend the Great Lakes Homeland Security Conference coming up next month in Grand Rapids for free. So that's a huge benefit to our department. In addition, our department applied to join the Oakland County Tactical Consortium last month, which we got voted on, I think, earlier this week, and we were accepted as members. The membership is free, and it offers a great value to our department, particularly in terms of training opportunities. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Oakland County Tactical Consortium, what they do is they put on seminars and trainings throughout Oakland County that keeps our departments and agencies on the cutting edge, responding to large-scale incidents, both locally and on a national scale. And they focus on critical situations such as active shooters, large-scale hazmat incidents, and complex fire scenarios. What they do is, as these events happen, they try to draw into those departments and agencies that went through them, and then they kind of share their experiences, good, bad, and ways to help us improve for future scenarios. For March, we had 137 calls for service, which is 3 down from last year. And then prior to this meeting this evening, we swore in 3 of our new personnel, 2 of which are part-time. I've got Justin Bearden and then Spencer Parks. They were sworn in. And then also we have our newest full-time swearing, Michael Kermy, if he'd like to come up. Tonight, his father, Mike Kermy, will be pinning on his badge. If I can find it here. We'll open it up for you. There you go. Okay. Let me get out of the way. concludes my report. Do you have any questions?
No,
Thank you.
And again, I would like to thank the fire department for the backing that they show for all the firefighters here, and let them all know that this board stands so far with you guys, and we appreciate everything you do, and we really appreciate all the new firefighters as well as the old. And thank you very much for taking care of Lyon Township. Thanks to you guys. All right.
Good evening,
Move
everyone.
on. Good evening. How you doing, LT?
Pretty good. So we just concluded our shift bump for the spring. I was able to take one of the vacancies we have on afternoons and move it to days. So now we have 2 vacancies, but they're in different shifts. Still filling the vacancies with overtime. No word on when we'll have new deputies. We're about 55 short road patrol countywide. So every substation is impacted. I guess no one wants to be a cop. Next up, we resolved the middle school SRO issue. As you know, Deputy Mishart was replaced, but the school decided to go with Deputy Rakowski. He was one of our own. He was in our detective bureau for 5 years, so he brings a lot of experience and knowledge to the table, and I think he'll be a good fit for us there. In order to supplement the new placement into the middle schools, I'm going to meet with the administration there tomorrow just to make sure we're all on the same page and the expectations are managed for what we should be doing.
And then they'll be finding out if they are going to sign.
Then not tomorrow.
Okay.
Not tomorrow.
Darn, I thought we
Yeah, it's different.
put it right on our meeting. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
We're all going to be excited.
you know, I spoke with Steve last week, and he's still excited. I guess he was given some positive feedback that apparently somebody from their insurance company is speaking with members of the sheriff's office and the board of commissioners, and he's optimistic about this language change that he mentioned here before. No word yet, but I'll let you know as soon as he tells me that we're on the books, right?
Gotcha.
Well, the last thing I wanted to share was, I guess, the sheriff, back when he was in the Senate, he started the old, a program, Student of the Month. You know, I've seen the stickers for years, but I never really knew what it entailed. But apparently tonight, at this game, he partnered up with the Pistons, and kids from all around Oakland County, K through 12, it's based on their academic achievement. They're invited to go hang out with the Pistons, so they're going to get to say the anthem with them. They're going to get to take pictures and throw high fives out. I thought that's pretty cool, something to mention. And I'm going to put the information out. The person in charge of that is the community liaison, Mandy Ford. She's the one that can go over the information and the criteria that they need to meet in order to be a part of this program. But it's open to all schools in Oakland County, so we will be included in that. And her number is 248-343-0129. I wish this was around when I was.
Could you repeat that last again?
Oh, yes.
343.
248-343-0129.
Got it.
Mandy Ford.
Now is the, what are the student ages? Like, are we talking elementary school kids
Well, it
trying
says-
to give
it
high
says K
fives
through
to the
12, so-
Pistons, or
You know,
pretty tough?
They're going to be on at 7 o'clock. You know, let's just break and go watch it. So we'll see how it works out. Logistics. But I mean, we can go. I'll get you in.
If they're fast, and it puts the lights on too.
Right.
At a good time.
But that concludes my report. Does anyone have any questions for me?
So once we figure out this SRO situation, then we can bring the contract and get that, okay.
Yes,
So-
sir. Mhm.
But because we're running a little shy on the months here, that's June, right?
The contract that we're under ends June 30th.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And-
So we gotta
Well,
get
I
that.
know that, but
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I know
saying-
you do,
no,
but I
I'm-
just wanna make sure
Oh, yeah.
we push them along a little bit because, you know, they've been bugging me to sign that.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
Him too.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get through it.
Sounds great.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a pain, but we're just trying to figure it out.
We are. I know. It's been a rough one.
And I bug him every week I see him. Did you get an answer? Sorry, Les.
It has been a rough one. It's been a rough year.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we're gonna move on to Planning Commission.
Oh, we have no
No meeting,
in the
all
month of
right.
March, but we do have a meeting coming up in April 14th.
That's a first.
Yep. Done.
Okay, now did we have a meeting at the ZBA? I want to see, we flipped the rig here, I see.
As always, we are at the most riveting part of our meeting, the ZBA reports. Last month, we had a request for a variance from section 12.08A.3 for a generator in the front yard of the subject's property, which happened to be on a corner lot. Not many people realize that a corner lot has 2 front yards as defined in our ordinance. Consequently, the request was denied. Just so everyone is aware, we do not have a meeting scheduled for April. Although this is very sad, I'm hoping for a meeting in May.
It could change, who knows? Well, thank you, Lisa. All right, building department, Jay could not make it tonight, but it's very busy, I can tell you that. They're still going gangbusters, and we're still a person short, so we're still trying to put out for that one, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, we got a new building official.
We do. We do have the new building official, which is very, very cool.
Is there a start date? Maybe I missed that.
2 weeks from today.
From tomorrow.
Or yeah, tomorrow.
He's gotta go
And by the way, he is on the board of the codes, he's on the board, so he has to go to the conference because he runs the conferences, and he's on that board for another 4 years. It's an 8-year term. And because of that, the conference is paid for. We always have to pay for the conferences for our building officials. They pay for it. So we'll have 4 years of him going to these conferences they're gonna pick up the dime. And he's running them. I mean, this guy's coming with a lot of credentials. You guys will like him. I can't wait to introduce him to you.
Is there intent for Jay to stick around for some transition bit, or is this guy just gonna hit the ground running and we don't think?
This guy will hit the ground running. He's very, very schooled at what he does.
He's been a building official all over.
Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah, we got lucky, really. Okay, we'll move on to the water, and in the water, it was too cold, and now it's way too wet. And they moved all the equipment in there, but they're trying to get the water out of a running ditch that's really wet. So the last thing we were hoping Monday, today, they were gonna start back in. They couldn't because of the mud. So we're hoping if the weather doesn't get as bad as it says it's going to, possibly Monday to restart. The water's really going well. We took Woodwind down to clean tanks out. South Hill had no problem buzzing along, keeping it up. Turned Woodwind back on, nobody had a glitch. So everything's running amazing in our water. And I think, I don't know if I mentioned we've got a new system coming, an upgrade to our meter reading, where it's done off of towers. And it gives us real-time data of all of our meters. And so we'll have a lot of people call Melanie and ask questions about their water charges, and so she can literally pull it up on her screen and talk to them real time. And now, once that's installed, the gateways around our community, she bills right from her computer. No more driving around, no more catching this and that. It'll all be done from her computer. That's a really nice upgrade, so we're really excited about that. We're hoping to have that in place probably within the next few months. The gateways are here, they just have to install them now, and they're doing the directional, figuring out where the best place to put them. It's a little, that's all good stuff. Anybody have any questions about the water, anything going on? Okay, then we're gonna move on to unfinished business, which we have none, to new business, which we have 3 resolutions, and these resolutions are all pertaining to basically the same thing, but a little bit different. The first resolution is for the Hawk signal to have the installation and maintenance of the traffic control device with the Road Commission of Oakland County. This is the one located in front of the New Hudson Inn type over to the, I believe, the east of that. Wall Street. And this is an overhead, full-blown Hawk signal. So that one is just a resolution to move that one forward.
So John, just one question. So
Sure.
the Division of Maintenance, obviously we're on the hook for all the maintenance and permitting costs. Do we know or have any, I guess for budgetary purposes,
What the cost
do you think
is?
that might be ongoing? I can't imagine
I
it's
think
a whole lot, but
I think it's gonna be more as a call when broke kind of thing. They're not gonna come out and do any like maintenance on it. I don't know, Rick, have you talked to them about that, like a seasonal maintenance? I'm sure it's like all the other crossings.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Or the other aspect of it, if there's a problem, obviously, they're gonna come out and fix it. But
Yeah, and I think it'll end up more that way.
I think Leslie
Yeah.
said it's really minimal.
It is.
Did we end up with the ones with the batteries? Just to know that would be a maintenance thing ongoing if we have to.
I think them are the next two resolutions. The flashing beacons, you mean?
Well, right, but I didn't know either one could be.
Well, we haven't, they're going out for bids, so we
Okay,
don't
so
even know
so this
which
is
ones we're
just
getting yet, right?
This
the
is to
agreements.
make
We don't
sure,
have the
first one's the
specific
hawk.
hardware
Okay.
selected and
No.
installer
Okay.
picked yet, right? Is that?
this is just so that Oakland County will take it over and do the maintenance and the repair.
At our expense.
And that's what all three of these are, actually. They're just different crossings.
And this is presumably just, again, road commission says you're doing this.
Right.
There's no other way,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Oh, we don't have anybody that could do any maintenance on
Okay.
these. They're people crossing the street.
They carry all the parts.
Yeah.
So,
I'll move the approval of resolution 2025-11.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion support. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, and the next two are the flashing beacon signs, and the first one, I believe, is the Milford Road, the bike trail crossing at Milford Road.
Yep.
And that's, we had talked about that, and these are just the resolutions, have them maintain them, install them, maintain them. And the first one's Milford Road, and the second one, I believe, is Grand River, or am I backwards?
Other way
Back
around,
road,
but-
Travis,
And Travis.
isn't it east of Milford Road, yeah.
Right, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-12.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and then the next one is for Milford Road. Okay, this is the Milford Road, that one's for Grand River, got it.
I'll move the approval of an agreement and resolution number 2025-13.
I'll support.
Okay, we have motion support, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're gonna move on to the resolution approving the West Nile reimbursement for year 2025. We do this every year, and they reimburse us, and I know there was, she used to put a number.
I asked Leslie, or I texted Mel, because Mel actually handles this, and she said it's normally around $4,000, but she has not received the letter yet that says exactly the amount it is, but we spend it, we buy the wipes and the things for the standing,
Pods
yep,
and,
yep.
yeah, all the
All
mosquito
The
pills.
mosquito stuff, and it'll be available at the township hall, so,
And that goes over big.
The
People-
residents
People are
love it.
expecting that now, they're coming in for it.
Yeah.
especially the
So it's a
little
good
pellets
thing.
for their standing ponds, so.
And I think that amount, I mean, we can't control that, it's set from the county, so.
Right.
Right.
And they give it back
Be
to us.
what it'll be as reimbursement, right?
Yep.
We buy as many as they tell us we can.
That's
Yep.
exactly
Yep.
right, yep, we spend the money.
I'll move the approval of resolution 2025-10.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and the last one is another one we do this yearly. This is the Walnut Creek fireworks display for the country club, and I don't know, how many, what's this year? We've done this every year for
A
several.
long time.
Yeah, well,
And I think, Chief, you've taken a look at it, you see it's all good.
Everything's the same as all the other years, yeah, they're on top of their stuff to come here and take a contract to do with.
And really early, too, get it out of the way, yeah.
Yeah.
John, I do have some questions regarding their application.
Okay,
On the application, it has the hospitality section, and it says to provide a copy of the completed OCHD application, as well as the copy of the completed MLCC application. And I
Okay.
didn't see either one of those in the packet.
Normally, you have to realize too, when we do these, a lot of times the special event is for us in the park. And if it's a business that's open,
already
they
got
just
that.
have certain things to fill out. So that's, it probably just should say NA when you go through it.
They did give me their liquor license, but it's not a special liquor license,
It's
because if you're serving it outside, you need a special liquor license. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I do have it, it didn't really maintain to that.
So it's just their normal clubhouse
Yeah,
thing,
that's what
it's
they're
not a
doing.
special
Mhm.
event license.
Right.
Okay, and then the section where it says to briefly explain how this event may impact other properties, businesses, and residents is not complete. And then it does request a list of all personnel including lead technicians, but they only list one person on the next page, which is Brennan Roush, the crew leader. So if this is a matter of different applications for like a township event versus a special event that's someone else, should we have a second or a different application?
Please do.
Or,
I can't figure out the one we have.
Well, the
Okay.
fire department will be there.
Yeah.
They are paying to have the fire department there.
Reggie, is it normally just one person setting that one up? I don't know how big it is. Well, just.
it says, please attach a list of all personnel, including lead technicians, that will be participating in the placement or detonation of fireworks, provide their age, their function, and and list their experience. Well, they
Typically,
only
there
listed-
is, as I say, usually there is only one
Just one.
person that's
That's
setting
what
it
I
up, because
thought.
he's the licensed individual that handles, controls, maintains, deals with all of the setup and
So will
lighting.
their company only have one person as their personnel, or just one lead?
one lead. He'll be in charge of all of it. I don't know how many they actually, I've never actually been out to the event when they do it. It's the fire marshal that shows up that night. But typically, they'll have one person that's in charge of running the show and overseeing everything, and they will have other people that help keep a perimeter back. But this one, where they do it, they don't have to worry about necessarily having a perimeter, because they set it off in the middle of the golf course where there's
Right.
nobody should be out there at that time of night on the golf course.
Right.
But yeah, typically it's just the one individual that is running the show, and sometimes they have other individuals, but that guy is the one that is the main contact and in charge of,
So I guess.
if there are other people that show up.
I guess my problem with that is that if it has it on the application, I understand there's only one lead, but if it says to list all personnel, I feel like they should have listed all personnel, which
Okay.
is,
They're keeping crowd back, it could be kids.
I don't know.
that They don't even have hired yet.
I don't even, to be honest, with you, I'm not sure
I guess we
who,
can look
I can look
next.
into it and find out, but I've never been to one of the shows to tell you who shows up and who doesn't show up for. I can only tell you my past experience when I've dealt with other fireworks vendors and shows, that usually there is one licensed person that is in control of the pyrotechnics. He
Right.
is the only guy that touches it, handles it, maintains it, controls it. All of the other people are ancillary and not necessarily, they're part of it, but not part of the pyrotechnics show aspect. Setup, tear down, maintenance,
Right.
controlling. They're just drivers and things like that. Of
It says
effort
all
control.
personnel, so I wish that they would have included the list of all of their personnel, so.
Yeah, I can have the fire, or the assistant chief look into that question, but I'm not 100% for sure.
How long have they been doing this? Do you recall?
As long,
13 years.
yeah, as long
13 years?
as I can recall,
Have they ever had a problem?
not to my knowledge.
I don't
no.
ever recall any complaint. I don't have any, never heard of a neighbor complaint.
are happy.
Yeah, I've never heard of, and
Say
you know,
they-
probably, go ahead.
I was just saying, with the fire department, they always, the fire marshal is always out there, and typically will keep a duty crew out or near the show while it's going on, barring any emergency calls that come in, but the fire marshal is there for the duration of it. We actually go out prior to the start to inspect it once the fireworks get delivered on site and watch the setup. And then we're there for the entire show and tear down if there's any faulty fireworks or something that doesn't launch as designed or as planned. There's special protocols that they go through to make those safe, render those safe, and dispose of them appropriately per
So
their
we do
ATF
watch them
license.
pretty good, and they
Yeah.
get insurance in here.
Yeah, they've got all their insurance in line. They've got the proper storage mechanism. They won't be storing them on site. They're actually transporting them there that day, setting them up that day, and launching them, and then tearing them down and disassembling the whole setup that day. They will not be storing anything on site for an extended period of time.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can do what you'd like to do. I would like to.
I
move it.
don't care about, I'm fine moving this forward. I just, like I said, when I read the application and then there are gaps within the application, I don't want to just say, oh, well, that's okay. If I would like for them to have that information provided on the application, because it's,
Or update
Asking
the
for it.
application
yes.
to
So I don't want,
say-
yeah, I don't want to hold it up. I'm fine with that. I just,
They probably gotta put,
It's not until September.
Yeah, typically for us, we're just, for the fire side, we're just looking at finding out who's doing it, are they licensed, and then making sure that they have us out the night of the show, and that's about the extent of our
could we make it,
involvements with the application process.
if we were to make a, if if we were to approve this, could we ask that they, at a later time, provide this sometime between now and the event? So,
And what section is that?
logistics section says the food truck information. I'm not sure if it says provide a copy of completed OCHD application, and they say that they're gonna have food trucks. Briefly explain how this event may impact other properties, businesses, and or residents. And then April said they don't need a copy of the MLCC application. They do or do
No,
not?
she has it.
Oh, you do have it.
I do
Okay.
have
They
it, but
collect all that.
they have that license all the time. It's not a special liquor license.
It's just for their clubhouse only.
Okay. So, and then number 1, the food truck information. Number 2, briefly explain how this event may impact other properties. And number 3, if there are any other personnel, that they provide the information as requested on the application. And that's on page 1 of 2 of the Charter Township of Lyon Fire Department application for fireworks display permit.
So, question, on page 9 of the whole application, they do list assistants, they do list other personnel. Is that so there'd probably be those names that you're looking for on the township application?
One of the issues we run into
Right.
yearly with Walnut Creek is, I don't know when it was, our application was updated, was it last year or the year
Yes.
before? It was either last year or the year before, our application was actually updated, and they just keep filling out the same application that they've used over the last 13 years, so we keep telling them to use the new one, but they keep submitting
Well, it's a
the
new
old one.
person. The last 2 years,
Yeah.
it's been a new person each year.
So that's part of our battle, is the application we've been getting is the older one.
Probably hire summer help.
There's 2 applications. They do one with the fire department and they do our special event ones.
Yeah.
So,
They do too.
Lisa, if you were to make a motion to approve this, subject to getting the information filled out, I'd be so inclined as to vote for it.
I do believe,
I mean, I don't
Mr.
know.
O'Neill,
I'd even
that-
second it if no one else was interested in doing that.
I would like to make a motion to approve the request for fireworks display to Walnut Creek Country Club with the request to have the food truck information completed per the application, an explanation of how this event may impact other properties and businesses, as well as the list of all personnel as listed in the application for fireworks with the Charter Township of Lyon Fire Department.
That was a good motion, I'll support that.
Thank you. It was a
Really
solid
was.
motion.
Yep.
All right, we have a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that concludes our meeting. Anybody have anything they'd like to say before we adjourn?
No.
Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Basketball tonight.
Go Spartans.